Okay, welcome back to the complaint channel. I hope everyone is doing good. Today I'm going to be stabbing the heart of Sony fanboys because, as I said earlier, Sony and Apple fanboys, they are the worst. They say, or let it put it this way, they think that Sony can never go wrong. Even if somebody pointed out a problem with Sony, then they will always have an excuse. Well, for me, I don't care. If there's a problem, it's a problem. If it is good, it's good. If it is bad, it's bad. If there's a problem, it needs to be fixed, then it needs to be fixed. That's it, simple. I'm not a fanboy of any gear, any company. I use stuff from competing companies. I use both Mac and Windows. I use Sony. I use Canon. I use Nikon. So what? You use whatever is best for you. You don't have to go after a company, whether it be software, whether it be hardware, whether it be anything. So let's continue. Well, there's been lots said about it already, but here I'm not going to be talking about the good things because after all this is complaint channel. So the first thing, so when I heard people, let's say reviewers, YouTubers saying Sony menu system is a mess, I thought to myself, how bad can it be? Because after all, it's just a menu. Like you have an Android phone, the menu is slightly different. You have an iPhone, the menu is slightly different, but well, it's different, but it's none of them are mess. All of them are good. And then when I got hold of this camera first, I switch it on, and then I went into the menu so that I can set it up for my usual shooting mode, and it was a mess in the sense that you have to search all over the place just to get some stuff. So menu system, I thought it couldn't be that bad, but actually it's very bad. The other thing is this stuff. And this I can't even open this one. What's this thing hanging right on top of this cover? Oops. This, and now this thing is coming on top of this one. Well, why can't they use a rubber like any of the other manufacturers like Canon and Nikon instead of this hard plastic? Just make it flexible and you can just organize them properly. And the other thing is, if you are a hybrid shooter, if you shoot both photos and videos, then this is going to be annoying, at least for me. What happened is I usually shoot in aperture priority mode, then for photos, and then when I shoot videos I have to turn like this all the way to the video mode so that you can record videos. What happens is when you leave it on video mode, sometimes being actually this is not a full-time video camera, it's a hybrid. So what happens is you have the tendency to take it out and just start doing like this to take pictures, because after all this is made, or let's say engineered, designed in the shape of photo camera, not a video camera. So that's the tendency, and you have a very important picture, or let's say you have a very lovely picture and you put it here on your eyes and you click, and then it's not working. Why? Because it's in video mode and you are turning like this and the moment is gone. So That's not good. In Nikon and Canon, at least they have that simple switch. You flick it, it becomes video. You flick it the other way around, it becomes a still camera, like even on the old Canon ETD. Yes, Nikon Z6 have that features too, and most of the modern Nikon and Canon camera, most of them have that features. And the other weird thing is, like when I'm shooting normal DSLR cameras, not mirrorless, I always switch it on, left it on like this, put it back. When I need it, I just take out and then shutter, and then it's on. So I hardly switch off my camera, because in that moment you just want to take it out and just dial in your aperture and click, 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 and that's how it goes. The thing is that I usually left it on like so with the Sony, and what happened is, I don't know, for whatever reason, often when I take it out from the camera bag, it used to be very hot, quite hot, like not to the point of the camera shutting down, but very hot. I've never faced this problem with any of the other DSLR cameras. I don't know, for whatever reason. Maybe some buttons are getting pressed and the screen is coming on all the time. It could be, but I'm not sure. But it happens several times. The camera just out of the bag, it'll be warm, hot. The other thing, micro HDMI. Really? Like even on an entry level Canon or a Nikon, they at least have a mini HDMI. Not the full-fledged or not the full-size HDMI, but the one which is bigger than this. This, you bend a little, yeah, you're going to have it. Sony should have put at least a mini HDMI instead of this micro. This is too thin. This is not like a phone which is just a few hundred grams. This is almost a kilo. Well, and if you swing, and if you have an external monitor, or you were sending it to TV for checking your footage, if this moves and if it is bent, then I don't trust this one. And a lot of YouTubers, they have complained about this small HDMI, micro HDMI, and the cable getting, should I say, the jack or the pin getting destroyed because of this micro HDMI. So you can't even move a little bit like that. It's not sturdy at all. Now the other thing is the touch screen. Now there's a touch screen here, but the implementation, how about that? Like if you were in video mode, you press it, you just use it for focusing. But apart from that, what else can you do? You cannot pinch, you cannot zoom to see your picture whether it's in focus or not. You can't change the menu, you cannot scroll the menu. You can't do anything. You can't do any of the setting. It's absolutely underused, I should say. So I don't know why. The other thing is multiple picture delete. If you're deleting multiple pictures in this camera, you're gonna run through some annoying moment, because like in other cameras, you have an option to select multiple pictures. You can free up space. Let's say you have some old photos which you've already transferred to your computers, you can delete them, free up some space, and so on. But here it doesn't do like that. Maybe, I don't know, but I've tried looking for it. I've even checked YouTube, internet, Googled it, but I couldn't find. Yes, there's an option to group them, but that's also another process. It's not a straightforward process. That's It's annoying, it's not good. Now the other thing is in India we have an electrical frequency of 50 hertz. In many Western countries it's 60 hertz. This camera, there's no option to change the frequency. Even in a country like India where we use PAL, we still want to use 24 frames per second. But then we don't have it. Now if you set it to PAL mode and 25 frames per second, then that's fine. But if you set it to 60 NTSC mode and 24 frames seconds, the thing is that when you use fluorescent tip light and an LED light, if you have that in a room where you are taking videos, then you're going to run into some issues, big time issues. I've faced this problem myself, just flickering all over and you simply cannot use it. I wish that we can just change the frequency from 50 to 60 and still have all of those 24 and 25 frames per second. Like for example, the camera which I'm using here, it's a Nikon simple entry level. It has that features, and I set it to 50 frequency here, and there's no problem with the pictures. Now if I set it to 60, there's going to be some issue. Buffering. When it is writing to the buffer, it just keeps on that bar thing, straight line thing going like this. You cannot delete pictures which you don't want. Until the buffering is over, then you have to wait. Well, that sucks. Well, that's all about it. There are more to say, but, and by the way, why is Sony lens so expensive? For example, a Canon 50mm 1.8 costs about 8,000, 9,000 Amazon. Nikon, I bought it for around same thing, 1.8. 50mm, I bought it for around 10,000. The price may have gone up a little bit. Full frame, FX lens, not a DX lens. Sony lens, this one. This is not even a G Master lens. Forget about G Master. This is 51.8. This costs 19,000. 19,000 compared to Nikon, let's say 12,000 current price, and 9,000 Canon lens. It's quite a difference. Well, whatever. I'm going to stop cribbing and crying. I feel pity for Sony fanboys, so just stop. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you.